everybody, this is Michael Reeves, member of the SSFA Spring Stratomatic Football Association, and we just received a link for today's semifinal game between the Jacksonville Jaguars, coached by Jay Villing, up against the New York Jets, coached by Tom Cook. In fact, the game looks like it's just getting ready to start. So I'm going to send a link to everybody. If anybody wants to join me for this broadcast, feel free. So we'll just let the video play out here while I'm getting ready to send out this link. There we go. All right. So this game is getting ready to start. As a matter of fact, it just started. Let's get some of these card images going. Just take a deep shot on their first pass, and that pass falls incomplete. We'll call up the website here to get the records for both of these clubs. Okay, so standings. Let's see. So the Jets, I knew they were in the top 3 or 4 clubs for the year, and they were. They are the number 3 seed at 12-4, and Jacksonville qualified with an 11-5 record. They had to play in a first round. There was a team that did get a bye. There were 4 teams that were tied with 11 wins, and they, let's see, beat the Los Angeles Chargers 24-7. We'll go over some of these scores here in just a little bit. It's been interesting. There haven't been a lot of supremely competitive games in all of these playoffs. We don't try to do spoilers here for the second round, but 3 of the 4 games have been played. 3 of the 4 tickets have been punched for the semifinals. The Jets have the ball here, first and 10 at their 39-yard line. There's that's a completed pass, pick up a 5 on the play. Let me open up another window here so we can identify. That's David Carr under center, and that was a pass to Evan Ingram, the tight end. So this is the 2021 season of the SSFA, the Spring Stratomatic Football Association, and we are basically getting to the finals here. This is the last of the quarterfinal games. As we've said, 3 teams already have reserved their spot for the semifinals. Third and 4 for the Jets on their own 45. That's McCaffrey at running back behind David Carr. Brandon Cooks, David Moore. That was a run, and blocking back 3 or 1. So only a 1-yard pickup on the play because there was no blocking back in that setup. On a 3-wide, there is no blocking back, so you take the lowest yardage gain. That punt goes through the end zone. And so Jacksonville holds serve, and now they will take over for their first possession of the game, ball at the 20. So Jacksonville's first possessions, let's take a look at their lineup here. That's Matt Stafford under center. He's going to throw a quick pass to Mixon, and he will pick up 9 on the play. So that's Joe Mixon running a 2 tight end set here with Tyler Eifert, it looks like, and Mike Gesicki, the second-year tight end out of Miami, who truly is coming into his own. But he is more of a receiving tight end. He's not much of a blocker. But here he is given a 4. I believe in the new car set, which should be coming out here in a little bit over a month, I think he got a 0. Some teams choose to use him as a blocking back to set up advantages in the passing game, perhaps being guarded by a linebacker that likes to blitz often, which leaves him alone on flat passes. Mixon runs there and does not pick up the needed yard to get a first down. He has a center that's a 4. He was a 5. Actually, he needed to be a 6 on that roll. So no gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 1. Ball at the Jacksonville 29. That running line looks pretty good with the exception of the center and the right guard. And Stafford is just able to pick up a yard on the play. Nose tackle 5 was able to make the play, but there was one linebacker in the zone, so they did try to stuff it. Nose tackle made the tackle, but this being Mixon, was able to pick up that yard. So this is the first down for Jacksonville. New York has one, but their drive was stymied nearly midfield, and they had to punt, which bounded into the Jaguars end zone. Jacksonville takes over at their 20. They're now at the 30. There's a deep shot that's going to fall incomplete, looking for Mike Evans. Mike Evans and let's see who that is. Allen Robinson. So Tom Cook coaching the Jets. There's a pass that's complete. That's a pickup of 13 yards and a first down. And that was to Mike Gesicki. That's his first reception of the game. Second completion for Stafford, who's thrown for 22 yards so far. So Jacksonville is coached by Jay Villen, 11-5 record this year, a 4-way tie for third. The Jets, coached by Tom Cook, 12-4. So these are two very, very good coaches, among the elite coaches actually in this hobby. So this should be a very, very good matchup. A receiver rating on the defensive card. There were 4 men in the zone, but the pass ball's incomplete. Looking for tight end Tyler Eifert. Quality player, but often injured. I'll bring up 2nd and 10. If you look at that line, that's good blocking on both sides, actually. A 6 tackle, a 6 left guard, and a 5 left tackle. The middle has 4s. There's another pass. That's a flat pass. There was another short pass, and that one is incomplete as well. Now they come out with a new setup here, 4 wide, and as you can see, Gesicki, who can play blocking back, is now in the backfield. So let's see what kind of pressure that Tom Cook can bring. He's got a 4 on the outside, he's got a 2 in the middle, and he's got a 3, so there's not much there. He does have Danielle Hunter, who is an asterisk pass rusher. He also has Myles Garrett, who is a 10, and a nose tackle, Kenny Clark, that is a 6. So let's see if he brings some linebackers here to bring a little bit of heat on this play. He does not. It's a pickup of 6. I believe he was flushed from the pocket. And he had to dump it off. Either way, they do not make the play. Ball go back to the Jets, and they'll take over at their 20 if the ball bounces into the end zone. So 2 possessions. This will be the second possession for the Jets. Both the Jaguars and Dolphins' first possessions end in punts. So if there's anybody in the league who has caught this note that we share with everybody, you're more than welcome to join us here on the broadcast this afternoon. That pass was a 12-yard completion. We didn't see it. That was Carr to David Moore, pickup of 12. Guess wrong on the defensive card. And that's a first down for the Jets. Ball resting at the 32-yard line. No score. 6 minutes here in the first quarter of this SSFA Spring Stratomatic Football Association semi-quarterfinal game. We have 3 teams already that have reserved their spots for the semifinals. This is the last of the 4 quarterfinal matchups. That was a run for no gain for McCaffrey. Right, actually, that may have been Lamont Murray. No, it was McCaffrey. Now Murray has checked in. 3 wide set for the Jets. Looking for Evan Ingram, and that pass is going to fall incomplete. So now it's 3rd and 10 for the Jets, coached by Tom Cook, longtime Stratomatic player. A couple of years ago, the NFL's official website had an article profiling Stratomatic, and especially those who participate in leagues, of which Tom Cook does and has for quite some time, and his friend on the West Coast, Dennis Crowley, who is an elite coach himself, also was featured in that article. If you Google it, I'm sure you'll find Stratomatic, NFL.com, look for Tom Cook, and look for Dennis Crowley, and you'll find the article. It's fascinating. It's a lengthy article, too. It's very well done, and both of them are prominently mentioned in the article. Both of them are really strong advocates of this game. So the Jets are able to convert on that 3rd down. Carr finding Dorsett for 12. It was on Carr's card. So he rolled that high number 12, but it's going to pick up a 1st down. So 5 minutes on a running clock. Neither team has scored. This is the Jets' 2nd possession. I don't believe either team has crossed over into the opponent's 50-yard line yet. There's a run for McCaffrey. Pickup of 3 on the defensive card. I don't think there's been a roll on his card yet. There was one linebacker there to plug that zone. 2nd down and 7. Jets 47. Jets finished 12-4 this year. Lone 3rd place team. Flat pass pickup of 5. It was guessed right. And now the ball rests at the Jacksonville 48, 3rd down and 2. The regular season champ for the SSFA this year was the Los Angeles Rams, who finished 14-2. And the 2nd place finisher was the Seattle Seahawks, coached by Dennis Crowley, 13-3. Nathan Baylor coaches the Rams at 14-2. The Jets were 12-4. And actually, they were tied for 3rd with San Francisco, who's coached by the league owner Ed Barrow, longtime Strat player. 3rd down and 2. So again, 3 wide set. Carr has a nice flat pass card, but they're going to go to McCaffrey, and he's going to be, well, he'll pick it up. He'll get 3 yards on the play, just enough for the 1st down. He needed 2. He got 3. And again, that's another roll on the defensive card. I'll pull this down to see exactly what Jay had called there. I unfortunately didn't see if he called that right and just caught a bad break that it was on the defensive card. There were no linebackers in the zone. Had he put a linebacker there, he looks like he still would have made it, actually. There's a flat pass, guess right, but it's a short gain on Carr's card. As you can see, he has a very, very good short pass. It's maxed out. A flat pass, guess right card. So that's an 18-yard pickup on the play. Now the ball rests at the 27. So for the first time in this contest, one of the 2 clubs are in scoring range. McCaffrey, again, defensive card. Left tackle 0 or 9. Actually, defensive left tackle, and so the defensive left tackle is able to make the play. You got a 4 nose tackle, along with a 6 left tackle, defensive end, actually, and a right defensive end of a 5. So there is some vulnerability up the middle, but he does have a 6 there patrolling the middle. But he chooses not to bring him up on that play. McCaffrey picks up, looks like 6. So now it's 3rd and 4. So that's Fred Warner, the middle linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers, patrolling the middle. Got a 4 on one side, and you've got Lorenzo Carter on the other. He only brings a 6 as far as heat is concerned. 9, a 3, and a 6. Warner. So this is not a team that really brings a lot of pressure. Successful double team on that play. Good call. Carr was looking for David Moore. Jay double teamed him. Passes incomplete. So now it's 4th and 4 from the 21. So this is a 38-yard attempt for Elliott. And the Jets are the first team on the board in this quarterfinal game, leading 3-0. So we missed the animation on that last play. And Jacksonville will take over at their own 18. Sometimes when we're online and in spectator files, we miss the animation. The sad part is it doesn't even give you the write-up here. So that's kind of confusing. So you don't know exactly what happened. An 18-yard return either means he took it from out of the end zone, or perhaps he had a kick return that was a potential fumble. Either way, the Jaguars take over at the 18. So Jay Billing now is trailing 3-0 to the 12-4 New York Jets. What's interesting about our playoff system here, and just to give you a heads up on how this works, there's several different types of draft formats. SSFA is in a family of leagues called SOMIFA, SOMIFA, and that is the Stratomatic Internet Football Association. They have several different leagues. This is one of their spring leagues, SSFA. And we're using the card set from the 2018 to 2019 season. I believe that's right. So it'd be the 2019 season, actually, 2019 to 2020. And the new card set for 2020/21. That's what we'll be using here in a few weeks. But we'll use the card set from last year pretty much for the entire season for multiple leagues. If you're new to the game, you can see these numbers that are attached to each one of these players. They're basically defensive ratings. From the defensive side, we have what's called split ratings. So you're looking at from the linebacker's perspective, you're looking at the run ratings. You can't see, their pass ratings. You can't see what their run ratings are. The defensive linemen do not have pass ratings. Those are run ratings. And the secondary that you see there, your corners, your strong, and your free safety, those are all the pass ratings. So there are some split ratings that you are not seeing. There's a quick shot to Mixon, and that's a pickup of 13 on the play. So the Jets will get a first down. In some of these leagues, we use these numerical ratings to determine which team defensive cards we're going to use. We call that what's called a double counting league. But in this case, we use team defensive cards. So everybody starts the season with a draft league card generated by Stratomatic that is an average card. There's a run for Mixon. It's guessed wrong, and it's a pickup of 18, a line buck straight up the middle. And back-to-back first downs for Jacksonville. And for the first time in this game, they are in Jets territory as we are a few minutes here into the second quarter. Jets up 3-0, but the Jaguars are driving. So throughout the regular season, we use average defensive cards. So everybody knows the defensive card on each side. What's unique about the draft league cards is that unlike the team draft cards, the draft league cards actually have more ratings. They're much more rating dependent than what a team draft card is. So these numerical ratings don't meet quite as much as what they do in the draft leagues. But in the playoffs, the home team is given an extra advantage by getting a very good pass defense card, whereas the road team gets average run, average pass. So the home team gets average run and a good pass defense. So that's to make up for the difference in home field. There's other advantages built into the game, particularly in long gains. The long gains for the home team are always going to be better than the long gains for the road team. But that's a little extra advantage for the playoffs. And just something to keep in mind. Helps to have a very strong running game at this point with that extra little advantage. So after that pass is incomplete on Stafford's card, which it was actually guessed wrong, and he just happened to find a blank 10. So Mixon will pick up 5 on that play, and it's now 3rd and 5. So Jacksonville has stayed relatively consistent with this 2 tight end set. One advantage, it does reduce the pass rush by 1. And again, the Jets do have a phenomenal pass rusher in Danielle Hunter. Myles Garrett, not too shabby, a 10. You don't see a lot of inside pressure guys, but Clark has a 6. Here's a pass attempt to Mixon, and he gets just enough yards. It was guessed right, but he picks up 6 on the play. And that'll move the chains. So Stafford just has a so-so guessed right flat pass card, whereas Carr has an excellent flat pass card. But he is able to pick up the necessary yardage. Mixon is very good out of the backfield. There's a quick play. It's a 15-yard pickup and another first down. To Allen Robinson. That's a good 1-2 setup there. Mike Evans, who's among the elite, and Allen Robinson is probably one of the more underrated wideouts in the league. Stafford looking to pass, throws over the middle, and that is caught by Evans. Nice pickup there of 17 yards. And so the Jaguars, on 3 consecutive plays, pick up 3 first downs. Ball now resting at the 6. Stafford is pretty hot on this drive. So 1st and goal to go. And Jacksonville will go to this full house backfield, which don't see this very much in the NFL, but in Stratomatic, it's pretty much a must. It's going to bump up your offensive lineman by 1. So that 4 center now becomes a 5. Your right guard becomes a 5. Your left tackle becomes a 6. He already has 2 other players who are at a 6. So maybe he's going to try to pound it 3 times in a row here. That's Chris Thompson, the Redskin running back that's checked in along with Mixon. He left Gesicki in along with Evans. He's going to look for Evans on this play. It's guessed right, and he is sacked. And he's sacked by, it looks like Myles Garrett made the play there. So now it's 2nd and 12. So that's a nice play for the Jets here. So we won't be seeing that full house backfield on this play. When you're inside at the 10, the flat pass is removed. You can only throw a short pass at that point. But now the flat pass is back in play. Jets in their 3-4. Pass to Allen Robinson. He is not double teamed. And he's going to get to him, and there is your first touchdown for either club. So Stafford, actually, that was a dump-off pass. Completed to Gesicki. The rush was not able to get to Stafford, and he threw a flat pass with 0 men in the zone. Gesicki hauls it in. And Jacksonville has taken the lead 7-3. There's 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter of this SSFA quarterfinal game. Here's a deep shot. It goes incomplete. It was intended for Brandon Cooks, who I think for this season was a Los Angeles Ram. So 3 wide set for the Jets. And there, I think, is McCaffrey's first run on his own card, but unfortunately, a white die won. That's one of the disadvantages of running with the 3 wide. Your run line actually goes down by 1, so that stinks. And plus, if you dial up a 1, it's guessed right on your own card. So it's a nice advantage to get them in a 3-3-5, especially if you have a good flat pass card, but running is pretty difficult. You just have to have some hot dice. There's a pickup of the play of 12. All he needed was a 4 from his center. I believe his center is a 6, although it's covered up by Carr, and it is. So the white die knocked it down to 5, but all he needed basically was a 5 or a 6. Picks up 12 on the play. So even though you lose that advantage, you're still looking at that 4 nose tackle against your 5 center and a 5 right guard. So I think he thinks it's worth it. So there was a guest run card on McCaffrey's guest run roll on McCaffrey's card, and he only picks up 1 on the play. So you look at those periphery runs there. You've got a short gain on 3, a 23-yard gain on 2, a 68 on a 12. Defensive left tackle makes the stop on this play. He only needed to be a 4 had he not been there. That would have been a pickup of 13 on the play. So you got a 5-4-6 staring you in the face. Had that been a center roll, that would have been a first down. But instead, it's 3rd and 9 with the ball at the 43-yard line of the Jets. We're halfway through the second quarter here. Score Jacksonville 7, Jets 3. Pass is incomplete. That's on the defensive card, which then went to the receiver card, but Brandon Cooks is not able to make a play, and so it's now 4th and 9. Jets will hand the ball back over, trailing 7-3. Punt is fielded and returned to the 20. That was a 12-yard pickup from Hilliard. So Jacksonville with the lead and just under 7 to play here in the second quarter of this SSFA quarterfinal matchup between the Jaguars, 11-5, coached by Jay Villing, up against 12-4, tied for 3rd in the league, Tom Cook. I coached the Cleveland Browns this year to an 11-5 record. Of one spoiler I'll give you. I've been eliminated from the playoffs, and I got a chance to play both of these clubs. I think I lost to the Jets by a couple of scores and came up with a win against Jacksonville. And I've played Jay for years, and that may have been one of my first wins ever against his club. And he's got a very, very good team, and he's a very, very good coach. So you feel fortunate to get away with a win. That was probably the best win that I had all year against one of the most elite coaches. 11-5, I believe this is my 5th season in the SSFA, and it was the first time in the playoffs. So I was very pleased. I hated to be bounced in the playoffs, but it was good to get there for the first time. 2-yard pickup on the play for Mixon, who has 5 carries for 26 yards so far. Here's a quick end to Gesicki. He's only able to pick up a yard. Wasn't much there anyway. Defender in the zone, a 1 or a 3. So it's 3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 23. Running clock, 5:42 to go here. Low scoring game, Jacksonville 7, New York Jets 3. So Jacksonville comes out with a 4 wide set. We've seen this already. It's Anthony Miller who's checked into the game. Allen Robinson, Deebo Samuel, and Mike Evans. Gesicki is in the backfield, so he has 5 legitimate short pass threats. A deep shot for Allen Robinson. It is guessed right. But on the dump-off play, a pickup of 7 yards. So that pass went to Anthony Miller. So the defense was not able to reach the quarterback. He throws it to Miller, checks down underneath. He gets just enough for the first down. Robinson was going up against a 5 on that play. If you look at the secondary, you've got 5, 5, 5, and 6 at free safety. So he pretty much went all for nothing, thinking that maybe he would double team elsewhere. But it's kind of dangerous when you've got Gesicki as your pass blocker. And I don't even believe he has a number. I think he's a 0 pass blocker. A run for Mixon. Pickup of 13 on the play. And Jacksonville is once again in Jets territory. So the Jets were in pretty good position to pick up the ball here before the half, but unfortunately, off of that check down, and now another first down run for Mixon. 6 carries now for 41 yards for Mixon. Here's another deep shot for Allen Robinson. It's guessed wrong, and that's going to be a nice pickup of 26 yards. Jacksonville now has the ball at the Jets' 21-yard line with 3:18 to go. So the Jaguars are looking to extend this 7-3 lead. The Jets took possession of the ball in the first quarter. They actually got the opening kickoff. So the Jaguars will have the ball to begin this second half. There's a quick pass to Eifert, but it is incomplete. Second down and 10, 3 minutes to go. So Stafford so far, 12 of 17 for 135 yards with a touchdown to Gesicki on the last drive, and they're looking for more here. Here's a hitch to tight end Tyler Eifert. And that throw is going to be picked off. So the Jets catch a huge break. A huge break there, and the Jets will take over after the return to the 18. So it was guessed right, but it was on Stafford's card, whose split is 2 through 5, 11, and 12. And he dials up a 5, so there goes a scoring opportunity out the window. So the Jets with 2:40 to go, 2:42 here to go in the half. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be. 3 wide set, which we've seen a bunch going up against a 3-3-5. There's a quick pass to Brandon Cooks, but 2 men in the zone. Brings up second and 10, 2:24. I didn't catch if that was a double team. He was being double teamed. So nice call from Jay. He's hit on a couple of those double teams so far. 3-3-5 set. There's a quick screen that's going to pick up 6. That pass was collected by Williams, so now it's 3rd and 4. That's tight end Max Williams. Kind of a Stratomatic hero. Don't know much about him in the NFL, but here it's nice to have that tight end 6 on those sweeps. Those sweeps. You've got a 6 there, and plus he has a 6. Well, he doesn't now. He has Ingram in, but at the time he had a right tackle 6 as well, plus a right guard 6. There's a run straight up the middle. And the defensive left tackle is not able to make the play as we had a white dice 6. Now, wow, what a difference a one little digit makes. Had he been able to make that play, it would have been a 5 or a 4. the Jets would have turned the ball right back over to Jacksonville. Instead, they have a first down at their own 37. They do have let's see, now they are short one timeout here. So a minute 37 to go for that run up the middle. There's an incomplete pass on that flat pass. It was intended for David Moore. Carr so far is a pedestrian 7 of 13 for 60 yards. His opposing quarterback, Stafford, has doubled him up in yards, but he has a costly turnover on that last drive that could have allowed the Jaguars to extend their lead. And instead, they're holding on precariously to a 7-3 lead. But with the ball 3rd and 7, they've got another shot to get the Jets off the field. Jets are in a hurry-up offense here with that 3-wide set. 52 seconds to go. The clock is ticking. McCaffrey's in the backfield. He's shotgun there with Carr. McCaffrey's run the ball 13 times so far in this half for 55 yards. A couple of big games, but for the most part, they've kept him in check. There's a pass to Cooks. He's able to make the play, and he gets out of bounds, but unfortunately, he's a yard short. I doubt that Tom is going to go for it here on his side of the ball. That's the one where you don't want them to go out of bounds. Unfortunately, he does. He goes out of bounds a yard short. So with the ball resting at their own 46, I'd have to think that he's going to kick this ball away. We're just waiting on him to make this decision. Be a gutsy call to go for it on his own 46, but if he thinks he can extend this drive, maybe he's afraid of leaving a little too much time for Jacksonville, although when he kicks it here, that'll only leave about 38 seconds left, 37. Now, he will have all 3 of his timeouts remaining. Well, he's going to go for it. I'll be. So Carr under center, that's Ricard as the blocking back with McCaffrey at the top of that I formation. So a huge moment in this game. The Jets want to extend this drive and get something on the board before handing the ball over to the Jaguars at the end of this quarter. But if they don't get it here, they're going to be handing over probably a lot more to the Jaguars. Possession inside their own 50 with 37 seconds to go. And there is a pass, and it falls incomplete with 2 men in the zone. Defender 4-2. Let's see if he double-teamed him. He was double-teaming him. Yes, sir. Pass intended for Cooks, Jacksonville. A double team, and on a defender reading on a double team call, that pass falls incomplete. So another nice call from Jacksonville. I think that's the 3rd successful double team in the quarter. And now we've got a little bit of trouble for the Jets. The tried and true 2 tight end formation in for the Jets. For the Jaguars. Jets will counter with their regular 3-4. 37 seconds to go. The Jags have all 3 of their timeouts with excellent field position with a chance to perhaps extend this lead. Barring calamity, they're most certainly going to take the lead going into the half. These 2 teams have coaches that are good friends, and between plays, they're putting some nice comments toward each other. They're both excellent coaches. And there's a run, but it's a white die one. It was guessed right. Let's see who that was. That was a run for Joe Mixon, and the Jets called run on that play. Wow, what a great call. Had he not called run, that would have been a pickup of 6. So a nice call from Tom Cook. Really good call from Tom Cook. 2nd down and 10 from the 46. Again, the Jags are up 7-3 with great field position after they were able to stop the Jets on a 4th and 1 in their own territory. There's another run. That's on the defensive card. It's a pickup of 9, and he's able to get out of bounds, so he preserves that timeout. So right now we're basically looking at 4 more plays potentially for the Jets, minimum 3. So now the Jags have a 3rd and 1. 2 tight end set. That's Mixon's 8th carry. He's hit 50 yards now in the first half. Off tackle run. Defense guesses run. He's able to get just enough for the first down. Pick up a 5 on the play. Blocking back 4, just enough to get that first. Actually, the blocking back, they don't have a blocking back now. I don't believe in this 2 tight end set. Somebody might listen to me and correct me. I believe the 2nd tight end could potentially be considered the blocking back. I'm not sure. I thought this is a formation that doesn't include a blocking back, so you basically take the lowest rating. Either way, it would have been a 7-yard pickup or a 5-yard pickup with no linebacker in the zone. Mixon is able to pick up the first down. So now they have 1 timeout and 15 seconds remaining. They are just inside of field goal range. Here's a deep shot for Allen Robinson. There's no man in the zone, and Robinson's going to haul it in for a score. So a gigantic play here before the half. A gigantic play here before the half. There were no man in the zone. And Robinson hauls in the 32-yard touchdown pass, extending the Jaguars' lead to 14-3 on the last play of the half. There may have been one play, but it probably was an onside kick. Maybe we missed it. Either way, a gigantic momentum push here for Jacksonville. So that'll give us a score of 14-3 here at the half. As Dennis Crowley, one of the coaches in this league, had pointed out to me that while, yes, there is an advantage to that very good defensive card, and yes, there is an advantage to having the long gains, these coaches at this point and the teams in a 24-team league, especially these ones that seem to be in the top 6 or 7, seem to be very, very evenly matched. They've all got a lot of talent. It's very difficult to go through a league like this and be totally stacked and win 13, 14, 15 games. So even the 11-win teams are going to give up a huge fight, or going to give a huge fight in these games against the 13 and 14-win teams here. And so to say that it's an upset so far for Jacksonville to be at 14-3 is not accurate in any way, shape, or form. There's only 1 win difference between these two very, very good coaches. So we're going to take a little break on the broadcast here while they talk for a little while, and we'll jump back in momentarily. So I'll leave the broadcast here momentarily here. Jacksonville will field this kick up 14-3. Okay. So we'll pick things back up here. I thought the game was frozen. I don't think it was. So the last 3 minutes, you've heard me gulping water and drinking water and gulping Planters almonds, specifically the salt and vinegar almonds. Ask for them by name. So in that first play, that was a run, and Mixon was dropped behind the line of scrimmage. He loses his yard. He picks up 3 there. So Jacksonville has the ball on their own 27. They're down and 8. So if you're just popping in, this is the third quarter of the quarterfinal game here of the SSFA, Spring Stratomatic Football Association. Jacksonville, 11-5 during the regular season, is leading the New York Jets 12-4 during the regular season. And they just collected another first down. Nice toss there from Stafford. It was a pretty decent guess right short pass card. 180 yards for Stafford, including 2 touchdowns. A big long pass with 15 seconds to go in the half that led to a touchdown has extended their lead to a 2-score 14-3 advantage. They have the ball at their own 43 after that 3-yard run by Stafford. Here's a flat pass that's incomplete. Again, Stafford's flat pass card is not great. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7. We're just 3 minutes here into this third quarter SSFA quarterfinal game. 3 teams already have punched their tickets to the semis. This will be the last one. Some very elite coaches in this final 8. A lot of the usual suspects: Ed Barrow, Tom Cook, Dennis Crowley, Nathan Baylor, Paul Mankiewicz, and a few newbies here. I don't want to leave them out. Jay Billing, another elite coach, Scott Mueller, who's been in this league for quite some time and a very good coach. And for the first time in my 5-year SSFA, me, Michael Reeves. So it was fun for the first time to be in the playoffs. Very enjoyable. Great league, great camaraderie in this league. If you are watching this video, this is how I got into this game 5 years ago, courtesy of Tom Cook and his great broadcasts. If you're ever thinking about diving in, it's a lot of fun. You'll meet a lot of great friends. It's a very, very entertaining game with all the live drafts that we have. It's, if you're really into football and you're really into strategy, this is something that you should look up. So if you Google Stratomatic, STRATOMATIC, you can learn more about these leagues. I play in several, including Stratomatic 28, SSFA, SOMIFA, SOMIFA. If you look that up, you'll find that. If you Google that, Autumn Wind, if you look up oops.org, you'll find out more about their family of leagues. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's not Madden, that's for sure. So it looks like, I don't know if he threw into a double team there or if he just threw to 2 men in the zone. It looks like he just threw to 2 men in the zone. 2nd and 12, ball at the Jets 47. Jags up 14-3. And that's Robinson and Mike Evans on the outside. Gesicki, the up-and-coming tight end with the Jets. There's a nice little pass to Mixon that picks up 10. He's pressured, so he dumped him off. And a zero man in the zone picks up 10. So it's important to get as much pressure on him as you can. There is that distinct disadvantage that if you don't get to the quarterback, you get those fluky zero man in zone. And you can do everything that you possibly can on defense, but there's nothing you can do against the zero man in the zone pass. Can't leave your guys at home. Doesn't really matter. So Mixon's able to pick up just enough yardage here for a first. So again, Jacksonville is on the move and pretty much on the periphery, if you will, of field goal range. They're already up 14-3. Jacksonville always tough defensively. Billing is a very good defensive coach. Guess wrong, pickup of 26, and that's what they were looking for. One of those 2 or 12 rolls. Guessed wrong. Had that been guessed right, that would have been only a pickup of 4. So now it's 1st and goal, and we see that full house formation. Now, the last time they were inside of the 10, Tom Cook dialed up defense, dialed up that blitz, and Garrett was able to sack Stafford to the 12, but on 3rd down, he found Gesicki on a check down. And there is a pass that is completed for a score. I believe that was to Robinson again. No, it was actually to Evans this time. So now the Jags are in business, up 21-3 against the Jets. New York is a high-powered offense, so they're not done yet. They're going to put some more points on the board for sure. But moving forward, every one of these drives are going to be fairly crucial. There's only 23 minutes left to go in this game. And trailing by 18, there's not a lot of room for error. And here's a run for McCaffrey. A pickup of 5, so it's 3rd down and 3. Tom's not going to panic at all. He still wants to stay steady with that run, but on 3rd and 3, this is you don't want to say crucial, but this is an important pickup here. Defense in the 3-3-5. Let's see if he chooses to go with McCaffrey again. He can pick on that 4. Oh, he did not. He goes to the run and gets 5. Now, had that been a white die 1, even if it was guessed right, he was still going to pick up 5. So McCaffrey is able to extend this drive as we're past the halfway point here in the 3rd quarter, 21-3. Jaguars over Jets. Jacksonville 11-5 during the regular season, coached by Jay Billing, up against 12-4 Tom Cook. Another run for McCaffrey, so that's 4 consecutive runs for the real-life Carolina Panther, who now has 80 yards on 17 carries. So just because you go down 21-3 doesn't mean you dramatically change your game plan, panic, and start throwing. You can still run the ball. Looking for Ingram, correctly double teamed by Jacksonville. Another good defensive double team. It's now 2nd down and 10. Ball resting at the 49 of the Jets, trailing 21-3 in this SSFA quarterfinal contest. There's a square out. White die 6 comes up, so it's a nice break for Tom. And a pickup of 10. And that was to David Moore. That's his 3rd catch of the game. Carr so far hasn't thrown over 100 yards. He only has 75 yards on just over 50% passing here in the game. A lot of those incompletions, I believe half of them, as a matter of fact, were due to correct double teams. But they've moved their way into Jacksonville territory here on their first possession of the 3rd quarter. There's a look for Ingram, and it's good for 11 yards and a 1st down. So this drive is looking pretty good. 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They're down 3 scores, 21-13. 3-3-5. This is the lineup we've seen throughout. Defense is double teaming McCaffrey. That pass goes to David Moore. Thrown toward the middle, white die 6. The only way they would have been stopped, actually, is through that white die 6. Had it been to either left or the right, it would have been an 8-yard pickup. 2nd down and 8. Running clock, 4:30 to go here in the third. That's Latavius Murray, who's checked into the backfield. Looking for Kenny Stills, and yes, he does. Kenny Stills picks it up and gets 9 on the play. That's a below-average flat pass receiver there. But he gets a nice little 12. You hope you're rewarded for something more when you get a 12, but he'll take it. 9-yard pickup. And now they are definitely in business here at the 19. Really, really looking for 7 here. You do not want to settle for 3 and have one of those quirky, 2-point conversion must-haves. A field goal here would cut it to 21-6. A touchdown would cut it to 21-9, and then he can figure out what to do as far as go for 1 or go for 2. Doesn't need to go for 2 if he doesn't want to. Ball resting at the 19. So we don't see this very often. There's the I formation from the Jets. We've seen a ton of 3 wide. So Ricard checks into the game at fullback. Jay with 6s on both corners, a 6 guarding Evan Ingram, and a 5 free safety. That is a stacked club. There's a pass to Cooks. It's a must run there for Carr, and he scrambles to pick up 7. So they're taking it down to the Jacksonville 12, where it'll be 2nd down and 3. Murray is still in the game, I formation. Wow, great call from Jacksonville. The running back is keyed on that play, and so he loses a yard. So it's 3rd and 4. So they are staying with that I formation, Jacksonville in the 4-3. And it's McCaffrey that's checked in. So we've got a 6 in the middle. Let's see if he goes flat. He does. But it's the linebacker in the zone. He throws to the 5. If he had thrown to the right, it would have been a completion for 5 yards, but instead it's a throw there to the right linebacker and left on your screen. So he's only going to pick up 1. Maybe Tom was anticipating throwing 2 over in the zone. I could see that. And so the Jets are going to be aggressive here. They are choosing not to go for that field goal that would cut this lead to 21-6, and instead they're pushing all in on this play. 4th down and 3. That's McCaffrey in the backfield again with Picard, looking at a very stout line, and McCaffrey's able to make the play and a touchdown. So the defense called pass on that play, and McCaffrey's able to score. Had he guessed right, it only would have been a 1-yard pickup. So a huge call there for Jacksonville, who've been able to correctly double team, even a run key on this play. Unfortunately, this time comes up a little short. McCaffrey makes him pay. And that'll make it 21-9. And the Jets are deciding at this point, do we go for 2 on this play, or do we continue to extend the game? So if they don't make it here, they're going to be down 2 touchdowns. But if they do, they'll only be down 10 points. A lot of coaches do not elect to do this. Instead, they'll just consider extending the game so the team has something to play for. But it's way, way too early to consider that. Even if they don't make it here, it's still a 2-touchdown game, and it's hard to know what Jacksonville is going to do. There's a pass, and it is caught. And so the 2-point conversion is successfully converted. And that was a pass to the fullback of all things, and I believe that was actually on his card. So we're going to hop out of here because Strat still has an error in which the spectators are kicked out of games. Whenever the ball goes through the end zone on a kickoff, if the team doesn't bring the ball out, almost always the game freezes. So sure wish they would fix that. But they didn't, so we just punched the game number back in, and we're right back in. So Jacksonville, after scoring on their first possession of the third quarter, watches the Jets march down the field, and now they have cut this lead to 21-10. A lot of work to do for the Jets, but it would have been a lot more difficult had they not gotten that touchdown. So a gutsy call on fourth down, actually, 4th and 3. McCaffrey scores a touchdown when Jacksonville gets his pass. And so Jacksonville has the ball at their own 25. After that incomplete pass, it's now 2nd down and 10. Stafford, excellent today so far, 18 for 26, over 200 yards. He has 3 touchdowns up against 1 interception. Makes it in the backfield. Stafford looking over the middle, caught by Tyler Eifert. That's a gain of 12. And move the chains. First down for Stafford. That was Eifert's first catch of the game. Three touchdown passes today against 1 interception for Matt Stafford, who will, for the first time in his career this fall, suited up for the Los Angeles Rams. Big trade between both two clubs. The Rams sending a couple of first-round picks plus former first-round pick Jared Goff to Detroit for Matthew Stafford. So hopes are very high in La La Land this fall. But that's real-life football. We're talking about Stratomatic football this year as we wring the washcloth, so to speak, out of the 2019-2020 season cards. Gotten a lot of use out of them this year, that's for sure. But we're all excited to see the ratings preview that was released just here a couple of weeks ago, and then we'll start seeing the card ratings preview, gigantic Excel spreadsheet with all the guessed right, guessed wrong, all the different mathematical permutations. It's very fun, a lot of fun to get that. That's when you start looking at your team to see if you're going to be a serious contender, if you need to start making some trades, or maybe you just need to move some players and live to fight another day. 6-yard pickup there for Mixon. It's now 3rd and 2. This would be a very nice stop for the Jets, who are trailing by 10. As we've made our way to the third quarter, the Jaguars picked up 7 in that quarter. The Jets picked up 8. We find ourselves with a 21-11 lead for Jaguars here in the fourth quarter for Jacksonville, that is. Jay Billing, 11-5, looking to punch his ticket to the Final Four. Tom Cook, 12-4, likewise. So a huge call for both clubs. Defense guesses pass. No bother. Allen Robinson again. 4th catch of the game. He has 1 big touchdown, and he's able to haul in that Stafford pass, move the chains, 1st and 10, as they've once again made their way into Jets territory. So the Jaguars up 21-11 have converted another 3rd down. He keeps real-time stats, but you have to go open up this box. But I think that Jacksonville, I thought they've been pretty solid on 3rd down. I'd say that's pretty good, right? 8 for 9. Jets are having a hard time getting them off the field. They've had nice long drives. And so at this point, the ball resting at the 42. This is a really important series for the Jets. If they can't stop them here, the Jags are very likely to have a great chance to put some more points on the board. But more importantly, they're just continuing to roll clock. Eight of 9 in converting third downs. Wow, Stafford, white hot this game, 231. 20 of 28. Not a very good flat pass card, so you don't expect to see that kind of accuracy. And the Jets secondary is no slouch. There's another flat pass, but it's a loss of 2 on the play. Again, Stafford's short pass card, not great. But that 2 roll seems to be pretty bad for almost every quarterback in the league. But you can see blanks on 5, on 10, on 12, a pickup of 4, on a 6. Really not a lot there. So good start here for the Jets. Now that is a minus 2-yard reading, but because that is a look-in pass, that is deemed as an incomplete pass. Off tackle draw. Defense guesses run, so that's a key. So those are 2 back-to-back huge plays for the Jets. Now, again, Jaguars 8 of 9 on third down. They go 4 wide this time with Gesicki in the backfield. So they've got 5 legitimate targets who can catch this short pass. So will the Jets choose to just bring the house and try to bring some pressure and hope that Danielle Hunter or Myles Garrett will get to the quarterback? They don't have a lot from the linebacker's perspective, I don't believe. Well, they do have a 10. Nothing there. Nothing there. So Gesicki is being defended by this 4-4. That's Anthony Barr. So defense elects to double team elsewhere. They're actually double teaming Robinson. That one is going to Evans, and the pass falls incomplete. So the Jets successfully will take Jacksonville off the field here. Wow. And so the double team was by the right linebacker. Had they taken that defender out of the secondary, that very easily could have been caught by Evans, but Tom elected to double team with a linebacker as opposed to a free safety. And so fortunately for him, that pass falls incomplete because the 6 was able to make the play, and it had to be a 6. The white die was a 6. So the free safety comes over, knocks that ball away. That would have been a huge blow for the Jets. But instead, they're going to take over actually deep in their own territory. Great punt from Jacksonville. So the Jets are staring at a 98-yard field, and they're going 3 wide here. Want to be a little bit careful on this play. A white die 1, guessed right on McCaffrey. There could be a loss on that card. Let's see, inside run. He's able to get a little bit of breathing room, pickup of 6, second down and 4. 12 minutes to go, running clock here. Fourth quarter, Jacksonville up 21-11. The Jets dodge a bullet, get Jacksonville off the field for the first time in the second half. They get the third down monkey off their back. Coming into that last play, they were 8 of 9 in converting third downs. Jacksonville chose to go over the top with one of the elite wide receivers in the game, but the free safety able to make that play. With a little bit of breathing room, there's a pass from Carr. It's a deep pass, but it falls incomplete. Interception split on that play. No men in zone. And it's now 3rd and 6. Not much of an interception shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. %12 chance at an interception there on that split. So 3rd and 6. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting to the point where these third downs have to be must-haves. So Jacksonville brings their free safety down and puts 2 in the right flat pass zone, and that's a pickup of 5. It was on the car of David Carr. He is able to get 5. Fortunately, it wasn't on that defensive card, but unfortunately, it leaves them a yard short. And so now the Jets have a decision here. 4th and 1 at their own 11. It's hard to speculate on what they'll do. They went for it on 4th down and 1 at their own 46 just before the half, and it came back to haunt them as Jacksonville stopped them and then scored a touchdown. They went for it on 4th and 3 on their last possession, but they won that one as McCaffrey was able not only to convert the first down, but also a touchdown. So this will be their 3rd 4th down in which they're going to try to go for. Big decision, gutsy decision here. I mean, with the ball at the 11, this is almost handing the ball. It's basically, if they don't get it, they're going to hand a score to Jacksonville. And if the Jets go down a touchdown, the lead may be insurmountable at 17 or 18. So they are going to go for it. They have a full house backfield. That's Latavius Murray with Ricard, who's an excellent blocking back at 6. David Carr under center, and McCaffrey. So the 4-3 defense is there. Look at that. 5, 5, 6, 6. Let's see if he brings Warner up. Would the Jets dare pass it here? Off tackle run, and the defense guesses pass. So this one should be good, and it is going to be good. So that's a nice pickup of not 1, not 2, not 10. Well, let's go 20 yards there. Actually, let's do 10 more. That's 30 yards. So out of the shadow of their own end zone, they'll bust this one for 30 yards. So the play was guessed wrong. Had they guessed right there, tell us what he would have won. He would have won a 2-yard gain, so it would have pushed it ahead. So good call for Tom Cook. And so they will extend this drive. 1st and 10, that's a run for McCaffrey, pick up a 5 on that toss sweep. And again, with that white die 1, it's guessed right, but he's able to hit a 5. Had he rolled anything else, a 2 or a 3 on the white die, it would have been a 6. But he's able to pick up 5 on the play, so that's a nice benefit. It's a nice little bonus. Some of these cards have some crazy losses when guessed right, especially on end runs. McCaffrey is not one of those. But it's not unusual for a running back to lose 5, 6, 7 yards on a roll. It can really do damage to a drive. Here's a pass to Cooks, but it's fumbled. Oh, my. It's fumbled. Cooks fumbles the ball on that quick flat pass. Well, actually, no. It never was a pass. Sorry. It looks like Carr fumbled the snap. So a horrible break for the Jets. The animation appeared to show the play developing, but I guess the ball was fumbled straight away from the snap. So very unfortunate mistake, especially in lieu of that great 4th down call. You hate to see a break go in that direction. But the Jaguars will gladly take it. And so now with just under 10 minutes to play, up by 10, and the ball resting at the Jets 45, things are looking very good for Jacksonville. That is the second turnover of the game for the Jets. They also turned it over on downs just before the second quarter. Jacksonville also has a turnover, an interception in the red zone of the Jets. in the second quarter. There's a pass that's incomplete, so it's now 3rd and 2. Stafford, 21 of 32 for 239 yards, 3 touchdowns. The ball resting at the 37. Here's an inside run. Defense gets his pass, but they've got that zone plugged. However, Mixon is able to make the play. Just enough for the first down. Nose tackle was able to make the play, and even though they plugged the line with one linebacker, the reading was a 2 or a 5, so Mixon gets just enough for that first down. About 35, there's a pass to Eifert, caught 15 yards. And so Jacksonville is well into field goal range now with the ball resting at the 20 and 7:48 on a running clock. So 3 here extends it to a 2-touchdown game. If Jacksonville can find the end zone, this game is pretty much going to be over. Crossing pattern to Evans, defense guesses pass. They're not double teaming him, and Evans is able to make the play, and the ball now rests at the 6. So those great receiver cards come into play. Evans, I believe, is a max wideout. So when you don't double team him, that's a play that definitely could hurt you. I'm pretty sure that Allen Robinson also has a maxed out card too. Defense guesses run here. Stafford looking for his 4th touchdown, and he will do it. That's Evans' 2nd touchdown pass of the game. Robinson has one, Gesicki has one, but more importantly, that will extend the lead to 28-11. We're back to 3 scores with just under 7 to play. So Jacksonville is looking pretty sharp here and looking very more likely than not to punch their ticket here to the Final Four. So the Jets pretty much have to be letter perfect here in this last 6:54, trailing 28-11. There's a screen attempt for McCaffrey. It's pickup of 5. 2nd down and 5. 28-11. Jacksonville over the Jets. Jets with the ball at their own 30 with 6 minutes to go on a running clock. It's an off-tackle run for McCaffrey, pickup of 6 on the play. 107 yards for the game for the Stanford product. I believe Tom Cook has McCaffrey in his autumn win club as well. So I don't know how many more teams he has McCaffrey, but I know there are 2. There's a run for 6. Another run for McCaffrey. It's 115 yards now and 22 carries for the workhorse back. He can carry the ball 27 times in a game before he gets fatigued. So Jacksonville needs a perfect drive here. And that's a nice benefit. There you go. David Moore, pickup of 30. Guessed right on David Carr's card. Not a great guessed right card. Pay dirt on 3 and 10, basically. So Not great. Carr is more of a dumping passer. I think he's decent short pass, not great, but kind of hoping for a receiver reading there. But careful what you wish for when you got sixes on the outside. So maybe you're not wishing for that. Actually, hardly anybody can go deep, so it's hard to know what you're wishing for in a case like this. Maybe a zero man in zone. He has a 5 back there that's a free safety. So, it's clubs like this, when you look at all these 5s and 6s on the board, it's like, how does a club like this finish 11-5? It's because a lot of the teams are stacked like this. You're hard-pressed to find 4s, not very many 4s on your teams when you are to this level, unless they do something exceptionally well, like a 4 lineman with a 7 pass block, or maybe a 4 linebacker who is an elite pass rusher. It's just, there's so much, so many things to take advantage of here. But when you got 5s and 6s, you're kind of staring at, well, I need some rolls. So there's not a lot of mismatch opportunity when you got 6s in every direction. So there's a run that heads out of bounds. So again, the Jets staring at a 4th and 4. They could kick a field goal here, and the lead would still be 2 touchdowns. So from here, maybe they'll consider it and just extend the game, but there's only 3 minutes left to go. So at this point, the best the Jets can hope for is a successful onside kick, which they're going to attempt after this field goal if it goes through. And it does. So they have extended this game. It's now 28-14. And we missed the animation for the onside kick, but Jacksonville was able to recover. Now, the Jets do have all 3 of their timeouts to go, but there's 2:24 remaining. So they've got to hope for a 3 and out here. They're going to burn all their timeouts getting there. Here's an inside run to Mixon. Defense will guess run. Pick up of 3. Jets will call timeout. 2:15 left. 2:18. 2:16. No, they didn't call timeout. Or maybe they did. 2:06 to go. 2 timeouts remaining for the Jets. They'll also have their 2-minute warning here. Inside run for Mixon. Defense guesses run. And that's no gain. Yeah, Jets did take their timeout, so they won't need to take a timeout here. They do have 2 left, 2 minutes to go, 3rd down and 7 with the ball resting at the 43. Now, will Jay get fancy here? Because 1 more first down is basically going to win this game. I mean, it's almost always, it's pretty much in the bag from here, but still, though, let's see if he does decide to get a little aggressive. Defense calls pass, thinking that's what he might have done. He does pick up 5 on the play, but that's not enough. The Jets will call timeout, so they will get the ball back. So let's see if the Jets can come up with some magic here. Maybe a block kick. Nope. And that ball's going to sail through the end zone. So that's a little break for the Jets. A minute 45 to go. Very much an uphill climb here for the Jets. Now they're going to go 4 wide. So at least they'll have a couple of guys who are guarded by, no, that's not true. They've got Brandon Cooks, who is a pretty decent deep threat, who's guarded by a 4, but you've got pretty much everybody else picked up by a 6. Wow, that's amazing. There's a gain of 6 on the play. Fortunately, he's able to get out of bounds. Let's see if that was a dump. No, it was a flat pass. So it was 2nd down and 2, pickup of 8. Carr now with 151 yards on the day, 18 of 27. He's thrown a lot of those flat passes, but hasn't really seen a lot of benefit from it. No short gains, no real crazy dump-off passes either that have netted him 20 or 30 that you get with the 0 man in the zone or maybe a white die 6. So no role that's given him just some excellent breaks. And the breaks have been pretty equally metered out here in this contest. Jacksonville's bringing some heat on this play. Here's a bomb to Kirks, but the pressure forces Carr to unload it a little early, and that pass is incomplete. Was not able to hit on that check down. So 3rd and 2, 1:30 to go. Jets with 1 timeout remaining. Trailing by 2 touchdowns. Carr has a long gain, guessed right on 10. Let's see if he goes conservative here, just trying to get the first down. Just not a lot of time remaining to do this. You hate to burn that last timeout. There's a hitch to Cooks, but he's double teamed. Actually, that was a deep shot, to Cooks. I think that was the right call. He was double teamed. So now pretty much do or die on this last play. 4th and 2, be the 4th first down that the Jets will attempt to convert. They're 2 of 3 so far. One was a touchdown run for McCaffrey, and the other was a 30-yard run for Latavius Murray. So the Jets elect with an I formation here. That's McCaffrey in the backfield, 3-3-5 set for Jacksonville. You got to be thinking they're calling pass here, which Jacksonville does. There's a pitch, but the dreaded 5 rears its ugly head, and that is pretty much going to do it. So a game attempt for them. The Jets, they unfortunately just did not quarterback Neal. They were just unable to get the Jaguars off the field on 3rd downs, who were just highly successful today. At one point, 8 of their first 9 conversions. And Jacksonville extended a lot of drives. Stafford hot today, 4 touchdown passes. And so pretty much a textbook finish there. 14 points in the second quarter, 7 and 7 in the 3rd and 4th. And they will make their way to the finals. And that is your ball game. So final score. The wrong box score pops up. Let's throw your box score up here real quick. Jacksonville 28 and the New York Jets 14. So Jacksonville will move to the Final Four. If you check the websites, you can take a look at the other 3 winners. No spoilers here, but the 2 teams made it from the, let's see, there were 2 road wins and there were 2 home wins actually heading to this final. So we have a couple of 11-5 clubs that are in this championship Final Four. And the top 4 teams had 2 of them advance. 2 of those teams advanced. So as we said, the story of this game, in my opinion, now it's going to look a little different now, but at one point Jacksonville was 8 of 9 in converting 3rd downs. Toward the end, they kind of cooled off. New York 5 of 14. Stafford, the MVP of this game, 24 completions on 34 attempts, 35 for 274 yards, but there's that big number, 4 touchdowns. Carr, on the other hand, pretty pedestrian today, 18 of 29. He's not the kind of quarterback that if you're down, that he's going to bring you back into the game, especially with a deficient long pass card. Only 151 yards. He played pretty much turnover free, with the exception of a big fumble. Actually, that's not correct at all. He had a snap fumble when they were trailing by a couple of scores. They needed to play perfect in the last 6 minutes, so it's asking a lot for them to do this. But he did lose a fumble that pretty much ended all hopes of the Jets coming back. The Jets were paced by McCaffrey's 113 yards running. Joe Mixon also crashed through the century mark with 105 yards. murderer's row. Look at those great wide receivers there. You've got Evans, 5 catches, 55 yards, 2 scores. You've got Allen Robinson, 4 catches for 86 yards, including a huge 32-yard haul just before the end of the first half. They gave Jacksonville a 14-2 lead, a lead that they maintained pretty much throughout the second half. Mike Gesicki, 5 catches, 47 yards, including a dump-off pass touchdown, the first one for Jacksonville that began the second quarter. Joe Mixon on some dump-off, 6 for 46. For the Jets, David Moore, 5 catches, paced the team for 56 yards, 30-yard reception included. McCaffrey out of the backfield, 4 catches for 29 yards. Nobody really making any other noise besides that. I believe there was only 1 sack in this game. For the Jets, I think that was Myles Garrett. Excuse me, it was Carlos Dunlap. There it is, and that was for Jacksonville. And there it is, Myles Garrett with your sack. The lone interception belongs to Lorenzo Alexander for the New York Jets. So once again, the Jaguars will move to the Final Four. We had 2 teams, 2 road clubs who were able to make it to the finals. And if you're still in this broadcast, I think it's okay to reveal your Final Four. So the last 4 teams will be San Francisco, Seattle, Jacksonville, and the New Orleans Saints have made it to the SSFA finals. So congratulations to Scott Mueller, Jay Villers, Dennis Crowley, and Ed Barrow. And so Ed, who is the commissioner of the league, will put up the Final Four here soon. And hopefully between Dennis, Tom, and me, we'll be able to bring the broadcasts in for the rest of the games. So I see Dennis there listening. And I don't know if Tom is going to want to join the broadcast here at the end or not. I'll send him a note. Let's see if he's interested. I'll send notes to Tom and Jay and see if either one of them to join. It looks like Jay is offline. Tom Cook still is. See if he wants to come on and say anything. Okay, looks like we're going to wrap up the broadcast from here. So thanks, everyone, for joining me, and hope that you enjoy this broadcast when it's on YouTube. We'll soon start scheduling the Final Four. Congratulations to both Tom Cook and Jay Billing. Jay Billing's going to move on with a 28-14 victory. So he will now be, 11-5, 12-5, 13-5, and Tom Cook ends his year at 12-5. So congratulations, Jay. Congratulations, Tom. Both of you guys had excellent seasons this year. And we look forward to the Final Four: San Francisco, Seattle, New Orleans Saints, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some quality coaches left in this Final Four. Should be exciting. We'll be bringing the broadcast to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. And to learn more about our hobby, visit Stratomatic, STRATOMATIC.com, to learn more about all the exciting sports games that they have, including football, which is the one we all enjoy. And to everybody, have a great weekend and good luck. God bless and good night.